Military dictatorship, old King Carney. Folks, I can't make this stuff up. For those who know me well, know I deep delve into everything, and I make sure to investigate like no other. Well, not only is it absolutely accurate that the RCMP and security forces will be on hand at this B7, they're already mandated, as he said, where subjects and savages in Canada are off limits on public spaces. Now, this B7 is probably, not only that it's the 51st one that Donald J. Trump highlights, but it's going to be the last one. The last one any subject or savage ever hopes to grace ever again, ever moving forward. I can already tell you all, and I made a meme about it. I've got the map. RCMP have sent me everything I asked. Everything. Massive radius at the G7 coming in Alberta. We won't be able to go. I mean, you can go, but you're going to be so many miles away. Massive miles outside a military perimeter, a military police checkpoint perimeter to keep all filthy subjects and dirty savages out of their G7 meeting. And I promise you, this B7, well, set up all public like and everything else. Old King Carney's already moved in, and they'll be waiting for us there, making sure we're isolated from ever being allowed to see any Americans or anybody else from the G7. That's going to be a fact tomorrow. Thy king has spoken, and already everybody, they're moving massive military equipment from all over Canada, building their perimeter right now in Alberta to make sure that that G7 and all B7s after in Canada will never ever be interrupted or have any public subjects or savages defined ever there ever again. It's all now full on military dictatorship. You, the people, will never ever grace a public staged event ever again. When I say public staged, I mean staged by the military and police and actors. Thousands of actors hired by your government, not real Canadians, because you're not allowed to be there ever again. I can't make this up. You can go look. I just don't have time tonight, really. I have my coaching to do in hockey, and then it's pick up people, get organized for tonight, and we leave at 3:30 for Ottawa. This will be the last ever time this B7 that any regular Canadians can ever step foot in one of those events ever again. We're getting near it. You've seen other events around the Commonwealth where people get in there and they're screaming at King Charles and the rest of it. That will never happen in Canada ever again, because we are now police and military full-on dictatorship. Can't make it up. You can go on the RCMP website. You can go on the Armed Forces, Canadian Armed Forces website. It's all there. Everything that RCMP and security officer were trying to impose on me is real, credible, and verifiable. All over both websites. Exclusion zones on public areas, public access areas are now zoned off for these events. Not this B7. It's going to be limited, I guarantee you. There will be a force waiting for us there to keep us out and keep us out of any range of any foreign delegates. All of them. Can you imagine, as a foreigner, I can go to Washington, D.C. and hang out right at the White House. Literally look at it, right? But not in Canada. Stuff like that is now off limits. Now you're the enemy. You're a low, degenerate, no good, filthy subject and savage that's already been disarmed by the government, Who are they protecting from who? Or is it more like we don't want foreign dignitaries to know what Canada's really like? We've ended up like one of those countries, folks. I can't make this up. I've got the emails, I've got the downloads. I was in the middle of building a meme. I ran out of time at work today. I didn't get it done, and I don't have time to finish tonight. We'll see on my drive to Ottawa this morning. See if I can get that out, get that done for everybody. I have all the maps, the downloads, the PDF, and what's the solution? So this message is for Albertans and Canadians, because there's no point in going to the G7. You can't get within a good 25 kilometers of it. No one's going to see you. Private airport, they all land. They won't see any real Canadians. Only the delegates assigned by the Liberal Party of Canada, media and hired actors from Canada to be there. Probably thousands of actors portraying happy, content Canadians, lying to the Trump administration and those delegates and all delegates of the G7. It won't be real Canadians. You won't be allowed in there. You'll be zoned off. It's a huge map around Kananaskis. All military zone. They're building it right now. That's why I got the phone call for the B7, because that's no longer really a public event either. And I don't even know what to expect tomorrow. All probably zoned off. The whole public center museum, the National Arts Centre of Canada, now off limits. I can tell you in USA, it was fully open for everybody that month. You could go in there, do anything. Who cares? American citizens are allowed that stuff. Not filthy Canadian subjects and designated savages, the First Peoples. You're not allowed. Indian Reserve, be damned in Kananaskis. Oh yeah, be damned. You're not allowed there. You're zoned off by the military. They're implementing it here in the next week. They're already moving military units to Calgary, staging, and then they're going to run it all out and build a zone and keep everybody out. Keep everybody out. So what's my solution? Farmers Field. So for Peter Downing, separatist 51st staters, invest money in an SOS in the Farmers Field around the exclusion zone, and hope that Donald J. Trump's looking out a plane window. We hammer on him, and we have a message: Canada, the 51st state, SOS. We're not allowed in. We're not allowed in the G7, something like that, carved into a farmer's field, because it should work out that a lot of green will be popped up, right? You can plow all that out, and then it's black on green, because that's what you're looking at in Alberta. I know crop formations in Alberta very well. You'll still be in green phase. But if you plowed out those writings, even SOS, 51st state, or G7, we're not allowed, 51st state, I don't know, some message like that. That's my message to everybody. Pay a farmer, raise funds, do that. I would be willing to help with that and share and showcase that, because we're not going to be allowed there. Nobody, no Canadians, none whatsoever. No Canadian First Peoples, no Canadian subjects. None. Zip, zilch, none whatsoever. Military exclusion zone. I kid you not. I kid you not. Go look at the RCMP website. Go look at the Canadian Armed Forces website. New Canada. New old King Carney, the military dictator. That's what we are, Canada. Wouldn't have mattered who you elect. This is the acting they're going to do to try and trick the Donald J. Trump administration. Sick, wrong, perverse. I'll get to work on it on our way down to Ottawa early this morning. I'll get those memes out. I'll get you the links. I'll get you the download PDF, at least in screenshots. It's undeniable. We're done as a country. I'm going to the last available B7 showing ever in Canadian history. 51st and last. It's all going to be massive acting and stage actors from the Liberal Party of Canada and whatever party of Canada. We are the military dictatorship. Share, share, share. Get it out there. The only way is to pay a farmer to plow a message so when Trump's plane comes in, he'll look and hopefully see a farmer's field, because they won't be landing anywhere where there's Canadians. It's going to be a private function military exclusion zone, many, many kilometers, so that no regular Canadians, no regular Albertans, no regular Indians will be there. No subjects, no savages. Read the primary mandate of the military and the RCMP and all police forces in Canada. You're last on the list. Subjects and savages, absolutely. All political politicians named in the Constitution in order of top to bottom. First, there's no serve and protect in Canada. We're the enemies. The majority is the enemy. Canadians will wake up in a couple years, but unfortunately it's us few who've woken up early. And we're groundbreaking on this. I'm probably going to be the first person subjected to harsh military and police and exclusion zones in Canadian history. We're going to see that this morning. I'm going to have my cameras ready for the brave Canadians who come today on this B7. You're going to be the first to see what's to come. And I promise you, for Alberta, massive military exclusion zone. You're nowhere getting near the G7 summit. They won't even be able to see you from any stage. So many massive kilometers away. A massive radius map around Kananaskis. No one allowed in. Thousands of staged Canadians, probably first class, probably theatre and acting majors, arts majors. This is the state of Canada today. Terrible, disgusting, full-on military dictatorship. And it'll only get worse going forward from the G7. Trump won't even see real Canadians. Can you imagine that? That's my video. Share, share, share. Get ready for what you see in Ottawa tomorrow. Because I bet you the whole building's zoned right off. And then, like I said, I kind of figured they'll have private entrances. And then from there on the 52nd after this, it'll be in some compound many, many blocks or even miles away from any real Canadians. That's how it's going to go. We're a military dictatorship now in Canada. Share, share, share. Get it out there. Credible, real, verifiable. Everything me and Jonathan went through today is real. And it's only going to get epically worse. G7 is gone. To all Albertans, it's gone for you and Canadians. I can't even go there. I can't even get in. And I'm a Canadian citizen with military and police security clearance, but I can't even go to that. Good enough to build nuclear reactors, wear radiation suits, do critical work, but not good enough to be welcomed into any event like that. I'm the enemy, but I'm good enough for radiation, right? This is the state of our country. Good enough to make energy for the country, but not good enough to ever be in any kind of class of citizenry, right? You're garbage. We're garbage. We're garbage. And we're an enemy to the political elite, the first class. That's the state of Canada. Full-on military dictatorship under Mark Carney. All the RCMP, all police forces anyway. Doesn't matter. Daniel Smith sheriffs. They're all sworn to the same constitutional respects. This is where we are now. Officially, Canada. This is where you are. And Albertans, you're nowhere near going to get near it. Like I said, the only hope, and I'm sorry to keep repeating, some new people come on and people leave. But folks, the best we can do is find farmers in and around that exclusion zone. Get them to plow the messages in the field. Canada 51st state, Alberta 51st state, SOS, G7, 51st state. We're not allowed. Whatever, some kind of message that gets the major point across, that hopefully Trump will be looking out Air Force One window and see it in the field. That's all you can hope for. Because I don't know what else to do. Because not real Canadians or Albertans will be allowed there, not within many, many miles. It's a huge zone. I download the map. Everything the RCMP called me about today is real. They're making exclusion zones for these events from subjects and savages defined according to the Constitution. And the mandate of RCMP and military has been made very clear to all those folks. We're the enemies. We're the enemies. That's my video. Can't make it up. Real, credible, verifiable. I know.